Hello, hello. I see some people coming in here. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar for artists. My name is Megan Schaefer. I am the creative director and I head up marketing here at ArtCloud. Thank you so much for being here today. And good afternoon. It is afternoon here in sunny Atlanta, Georgia, where we are headquartered. And I'm really looking forward to walking you through a high-level version of ArtCloud for artists, exactly what ArtCloud provides artists in the inventory management realm, the marketing realm, and the website realm. We'll get started in a few minutes. I see some people still kind of coming in here. We'll go over the rules of the road for our webinars here at ArtCloud, and we will get started. But in the meantime, I'm going to play a little bit of music, and we will get started in about, I would say, 1 minute. So welcome, and I'm so excited to have everyone here. We've got a few dozen artists today joining us, so I'll be making sure to answer any questions you have. But yeah, we'll wait just 1 more minute and then we'll get started. I just got in the chat that Linda says you can't hear the music, so you'll have to miss out on a little bit of Erykah Badu this wonderful afternoon. But with that said, we will get started. Welcome, welcome. I am Megan Schaefer. As I said, I head up marketing here at ArtCloud. My background is in arts management. That is what my degree is in, and I have found myself in the world of technology with a background in fine art. I've helped a lot of artists get their work online, and I'm really looking forward to speaking to you guys today, coming from a world of being friends with mostly artists and loving to go to open studio events, loving to make art myself, and just knowing how particularly challenging it is to get out there online with all of these changing technologies and all of the noise out there with social media. And how hard it can feel to get your work organized in a digital format. So we will be going through all of that today with how you can do it with ArtCloud and get your work in legible inventory management database, and then communicate with your galleries, communicate with your collectors, and build a beautiful website. So with that said, I'm going to go to our next slide here, which is a bit of a welcome. So hello. Again, I'm Megan, and ArtCloud is a comprehensive all-in-one platform for the art world. So our bedrock product, our company was started in about 2012, so we've been around for quite a while. We have hundreds of galleries that use ArtCloud every day to sell millions of dollars worth of art. That product has been around for about over 10 years. Our artist product is only a few years old, so we basically took what we know works for selling art for galleries and we translated it to an individual format for artists. So we know it works for galleries, it works every day. And so in terms of selling work as an artist, keeping your studio super organized and making sure your inventory is uploaded in a way that makes a lot of sense. We know the drill. We have this platform that works really well for the art world, and we're so pleased to be building our artist community and serving our artist community in a really genuine way, we hope. With our webinars as well, you may have seen my face before. I lead most of our webinars. We have a few coming up that are really cool about gallery representation and so just some professional development for artists that after you're out of your BFA or your MFA program or out of school, it's challenging to really sort of keep up with what's going on and best practices in the moment. So we try really hard to have these meetups once a month and just really talk about the industry, the way it is right now in 2025, and how artists can get organized and sell more work. So with that said, this webinar will be recorded. It's recording as we speak. So if I'm going too fast or I miss some things or I'm not able to answer as many questions as I hope to at the very end, you will receive an email with a bunch of information. Oh, Alex says you could hear the music. Good. You'll receive an email afterwards with everything you'll need to know. If you choose to sign up for ArtCloud, whether it's a free account or a paid account, you will hear from me. You always hear from me if you've been in these webinars before. So thank you so much again. And I will move over here. So what we're doing today is we're going to go through our entire onboarding flow, meaning this is exactly what you see when you sign up for ArtCloud. So we're going to go from the beginning to the end. I've got a few pieces that I've made a few years ago. I love this. I love like this alcohol ink on Yupo paper. So I will show you exactly how to write in all of the mediums. You can get as detailed as you need to be with your mediums. And I will create my ArtCloud account. That is today's demo. So hang with me. This is a bit of a new format, but I figured, instead of using a demo account that's like fully built out, why not start from the beginning and really show you how you are going to find success with ArtCloud from an empty account and then build it fairly quickly. We have artists that sometimes launch their site within a week. So that's really how easy it is to get started. That said, you'll see that ArtCloud has a lot of features. So I've been here for 4 years. It's taken me that long to really fully understand each one. But you can always start with a free inventory account. Our free inventory accounts are free forever, 500 piece limit. So the limit is fairly high. And you can always have your inventory in one place for free with ArtCloud and then really build along the way. Our subscriptions for the manager start at $29 a month. And that gets you a whole slew of marketing and sales tools that we'll talk about in a little bit. So here I am. I'm going to choose artists because that is who I am. I'm going to click everything in this case. When you come to this screen, you can be a little bit more specific about like why you're here and what you're interested in as an artist, whether that's a website, sending email campaigns with our email campaign builder, sales tools, creating collateral. Collateral, as you'll see coming up here, is what we at ArtCloud call price lists and tear sheets, certificates of authenticity, and anything that you can basically take a quick list, which we'll learn about, or a list of artworks or individual artworks and pull into a branded exportable business document that is, there's no more need for Microsoft Word or Photoshop or wherever you're making these documents. With ArtCloud, it's really easy to get some really professional collateral to your collectors, to your galleries, to curators, to art consulting firms, whoever you want to be in touch with. So then we're going to press Preview ArtCloud. So this takes us into exactly what we're doing. So we're previewing where we set basically a brand, so a current theme. What I'm going to choose today is B.O.B. You'll see that these are named after Outkast songs, which were in Atlanta. There's a reason. So what you'll see here is that it fills in with some sample pieces. But what we'll want to do is upload my own inventory. So what I'm going to do is upload one piece. Let's see here. So I uploaded one piece. I'm going to title it number 1. I'm going to write in my medium first. So ink on Yupo paper. I'm going to do the price. Oh, ink on Yupo paper. Let's do that. Price, let's call it $1,000. Let's call it a 12 by 16 piece in inches. So it's easy as that. You write it in. My studio name, Megan Schaefer. So fresh, so clean. My logo, made that just easy peasy, Megan Schaefer, there it is. So this is already what my website will look like, except with my work in it. Every single thing that you'll see, it's all customizable. So the collateral will look like this. This is the piece in question. It's as easy as that. So the email campaigns, already we have an email campaign that will have a clickable buy now link, which is pretty cool. And then I will sign up. So megan@artcloud.com, that's my email. Feel free to email me. Studio website, www.artcloud.com. How about that? And then password, ArtCloud. How about that? Okay, here we go, guys. Oh, email currently in use. No. Okay. Alrighty, so it's going to drop me into my account. When I get into my account, I'll explain the interface, the dashboard, and everything that kind of comes with that. So here we are. This is what we call Copilot. This is center scrollable area here. Obviously, this is a new account, but when this is all filled in with your information, when you upload your inventory, when you go through and you are in this, this area, it will give you some tips and tricks on, some new arrivals to send out. Like when you upload pieces, sometimes it's easy to forget, like you got to let people know. You have to let the people know kind of when you are making new work, like people want to know. You can add to-dos, shortcuts. You can add artwork here, create an invoice, add a contact. So we'll start on this left-hand side. As you can see, the piece that I already uploaded is right here. So Megan Schaefer, number 1, 12 by 16, all of this. What I can do is a whole number of things with this piece, right? So I can edit it, I can add it to a list, I can duplicate it. So if you have a bunch of pieces that are, say, the same medium, sort of the same style, you can duplicate that and add inventory that way. There's lots of ways to add inventory, including importing it with an import tool. I can export it. I can email it to a contact. So ArtCloud integrates with Office 365 and Gmail. So once you integrate your email, you can email works directly from ArtCloud. No need to download a PDF from Google Docs, add it to an email, and then there you don't even know, if they clicked on it in ArtCloud, you can see all of these things and have everything in one place. And it's a wonderful way to just know everything in only one tab on your screen. You can print, you can share on social media. So doing this, you can share on all major platforms on social media. Something that I want to touch on is this actual, we call it an inventory record. So this inventory record is like the bedrock of ArtCloud, of the ArtCloud platform, of the ArtCloud manager. So you'll see there's a lot of information that you can put in here. I recommend putting as much information as you know about the piece, whether it's framed, the frame cost, framer name, etc. If you just want to be bare bones and put in one image per piece, that's great. We know that adding 4 to 5 images per piece on your website sells more art. We've proven it. So having different angles, if you have any installation images of your pieces, it's always really great to give your collectors a real-time view of what your work looks like. Not just like this, because like this, that's great. I mean, someone might want to buy it, but they really should be able to see it in their space. And then the financial history of it, insurance, shipping, financial notes, consignment. So whether it's owned or consigned. So you really can know every single thing about all of your work throughout time. And for some artists, we have some artists that use ArtCloud that have been making work for 30 years. And it's really difficult. It's really easy to fall behind. Have even just little studies and works on paper that you're like, when did I make that? And like, where is it? And so with that, with the overview, you also have a location, whether it's at the studio. Some artists have studios in different cities. We allow for every type of artist to use ArtCloud in that way, because you can track every little piece of information. Another really cool thing about this is interested contacts. So when we move on to contacts, you will see that essentially you can, anybody who has ever bought a piece of a certain, medium, they'll be interested in that particular medium, and you can add them to interested contacts, which is pretty cool. You can add it to an invoice, add to list. So lists are also really important in ArtCloud. When you're building an email newsletter, you can choose to surface a particular list, meaning a particular series, perhaps, just big works, just small works, and really think about your marketing as an artist, with your email campaigns, and then even what you're surfacing on your website. Email, print, export. Like I said before, Collateral in ArtCloud is a pretty incredible tool. So I can make a wall tag. We are integrated with Avery labels. So say if you are hanging work in anything from a coffee shop to a museum, you can custom make your wall tags should you need to, if you're not working with a curator or a gallerist. Certificate of authenticity as well. So a tear sheet, like I said, I uploaded this little image of my name. It already comes up with my address and some things that you can add to the side there. But all this is totally customizable, and it has all of the information on the other side right here in the lower left. You can email to contact, print, or export to PDF, and my export has started. So it's as easy as that. So when we come back to our inventory list here, you have a few ways of viewing your inventory. You can go here or here. You can search by a lot of things, obviously. So say if I did have, 1,500 pieces from my lifetime, this could be pretty important. Our search functionality in ArtCloud has a lot of depth. So that's great. So moving down the line here on the left-hand navigation, you can organize your exhibitions. When you put your pieces in a particular exhibition, you can also email those pieces within that exhibition to, say, the gallerist that you're working with or the art organizer that you're working with. So this is a great place to kind of make sure you have all of your exhibitions organized. Quicklists. So Quicklists is what I was talking about before with the lists. You use Quicklists to create a consignment. You can create an invoice from a Quicklist. Basically, it's a list of your artworks that you can create, various types of opportunities for yourself, whether you're invoicing a client, you're adding, a series to your website, you're adding a series to your email newsletter. However you would like to do that, Quicklists are a really handy tool. I'm going to hover over this for a second, but editions, sets, and titles are the way that we organize editions. So limited and unlimited editions can be easily organized in ArtCloud. It's very handy for photographers. For consignments. So ArtCloud has a connection to ArtCloud galleries, where artists and galleries can kind of communicate back and forth about consigned work. It's so handy if you're working with a gallery that uses ArtCloud. Again, we have hundreds of galleries all over the world that use ArtCloud. So it could be a really great way for you to easily communicate about your works with an ArtCloud gallery. But other than that, you can do an inventory return or gallery consignment here. So speaking of galleries, you can add your gallery representation here. So you can consign inventory to them and track your sales. I'm going to hover over this. We plan to have a more in-depth webinar about this connection soon. And I will provide some information in the follow-up, but this is a really great connection, like I said. So with your website, we already have some pre-made pages for us from when we just did the onboarding. So I'm going to click into home. I'm going to start a 14-day trial. You should too. And we're going to pull in some easy blocks. You can see we already have an inventory block with the inventory piece that I uploaded. All of this is super customizable. We also integrate with Google Fonts, which has over 1,500 different fonts. It's very likely if you like a font and already use it, you'll find it there. If not, you'll find something extremely similar. So the source, like I said before, inventory or a list if I had a particular list of, say, new arrivals or a series based on medium, based on size, based on what have you, I could put that in an inventory block on any page of my website. So this is the home page. We already have a really fantastic footer down here with a subscribe function. Just a side note about best practices for websites. You should always have a subscribe functionality, even if you don't send out newsletters regularly. You need to have multiple places on your website for people to get in touch with you. If someone's coming to your website, they want to learn more about you. They either want to read about your bio, they want to look at your work, or they want to reach out to you for either opportunities or, well, we hope to sell smart, but so yeah, at the bottom here, we already arm you with this subscribe form and some icons to get to your social media. So all of this is, again, extremely customizable. I'm going to continue without saving. And we already sort of have a new arrivals page, exhibition page, and a contact page, all of which will connect to your backend. So if someone reaches out to you via your contact page, via your contact form, it will go into our CRM or the contact. So the client retail management or collector retail management. So now that we've started our free trial, we can go into our contacts. Right now, you only have the support at artcloud.com, which is always here for you as you explore ArtCloud and need help. But to add a contact is super simple. You can also add your contacts via a CSV import. So say you want to import a lot of contacts at once and you don't want to go one by one, very much an option. So here we have our unnamed person. I'm going to put it in as my sister, Mary Schaefer. So maybe she'll buy the piece that I just uploaded into my inventory. But I can put in that she's interested in large paintings. And then this is saved as a tag in ArtCloud. And again, I know this is a lot of information at once. ArtCloud has such depth, and there's a reason for it. It's all completely connected and aimed to sell more art. So tag management is very much a thing in ArtCloud. You can say ink on Yupo like we did before. You can say basically anything here and it will save and the contacts will collect that like large paintings. And then down the road, if you want to send an email out with specifically your larger work, you can by making an audience out of the people who like large paintings. So that said, say I want to create an invoice for Mary. I can create an invoice for her. That just happened, easy peasy. I can add her payment. So I can make sure that we are getting paid by Mary, whether it's check, through our Stripe integration. So we integrate with Stripe for our payment processing. The biggest companies in the world use Stripe. It's super secure. And basically, we use that to securely process payments. Another note is that we do not take an additional commission at ArtCloud. We are a subscription-based platform. So your subscription covers what we take. So we're not like a formal gallery in that we don't take 50%, like say your standard gallery, just the processing fees that are fairly normal in this area. So I can add an address. I can then add a piece. So I'm going to add the piece. Mary's buying it. Someone should call my sister and let her know that she's buying my work. So I'm going to add this piece to here. Remember, we're currently in an invoice. I'm going to give her a little 10% family discount. So that's what we're going to do there. You're welcome, right? I can put in sales tax, GST, VAT, or none. So I'm going to go with none in this case. And then, yeah, we're halfway there. Shipping, she lives in Salt Lake City, so I'm going to charge, say, $250. And that will add to that. And then we can actually email that to her or export a handy invoice here. So again, we're 25 minutes through the demo and I've already added a piece of inventory. I've edited my website a little bit and it's already fairly put together. I have put this on an invoice to my sister Mary, and then up next I could print that out or export it or actually email her actual email. And then say if I had Stripe payment processing integrated, she would see a little link down here that she could pay with her credit card immediately. We stress that this is really important because if people need to click around, if they need to spend time figuring out how to give you money, I mean, for those of us that online shop, you know that even that small amount of friction really slows you down. You want people to say, oh my gosh, great, I'm so excited, I'm in the frame of mind, I'm ready to buy this art, let's go. And they can pay with a click of a mouse. So it's really important to minimize as much friction as possible with that. So we have our first invoice. It's very exciting with our first contact. Also in our sales and marketing kind of part of the ArtCloud Manager. So to recap, we have the ArtCloud Manager and we have ArtCloud websites. As you'll see when I go back to my presentation, they are separate subscriptions. So you have the ArtCloud Manager, which is your business backend, and ArtCloud websites, which is your website. So you have your to-dos here, your sales opportunities, which we don't have time to go over right now, but they can be really powerful for our gallery customers. They're extremely powerful. We just did a webinar about sales opportunities for galleries and the sales funnel of when someone comes into your network, when you learn more about them, and then when you finally close the sale, and how you can use our sales opportunity tracker to better make that happen. Email templates, this is a Pro Plus feature. This is if you're sending transactional emails. So you say, hi, so-and-so, thank you so much for inquiring about this piece or my work. Here's my website, here's my phone number, we should FaceTime, come to the studio. You can put all of that text in an email template, and then with one click, like have that email template on a transactional email, and then send that off. It just saves so much time to have like the things that you say regularly over and over again, hopefully, if people are getting in touch, and then you can send that off to them. So campaigns. I'm going to start a campaign from scratch and show you how easy it is to add your work, add your branding, and send an email newsletter with ArtCloud. So I'll name it the audience. I don't have an audience set up quite yet, but that would be a collection of people. I'll say new arrivals in studio as the subject line. I'm gonna, for the purposes of this demo, say the same thing in the preview text. And then I come into my email builder. So you see here that it's the same sort of thing as, say, MailChimp or a Wix or a Constant Contact or whatever you might be using already for your email newsletters. We have a really handy webinar about email newsletters for artists that I'll make sure to put in the follow-up email to you guys with the recording. But there's a way to do this where you have people buy work directly from your email newsletters. It happens, and it's a really great way to be in touch with your collectors and be in touch with the people that love your work and are big fans of you. So I'm going to pull in an inventory container. You'll see that obviously I only have one piece of inventory in my demo account, but I can add it and link it to my website. I can save column count of 1. And so this already is in here as a buyable piece that will bring someone directly to my website via an email campaign. I also, in ArtCloud, I'll say it again, you can edit every single little thing to your liking. Obviously, we have, we put in formatting that we think is contemporary and sophisticated from the jump. But say I wanted to, we don't need an edition. I don't really want to include the price. I don't know why. That's my prerogative. But anything that you want to include on your inventory in here, you can. So I'm going to save changes. So yes, that is generally how you can add your inventory to your email. And then you can write whatever you'd want to write. thank you so much for being a fan. Stay tuned. I have some exhibitions in the spring or the summer that I'm really excited about. You don't have to say much. Just keep in touch with your collectors and add your inventory for them to actually peruse on your website, and you're cooking with gas. So that's the very basics about campaigns. So moving on, we have new arrivals, which I think I talked about before, promo code, which is really exciting, the ArtCloud Marketplace, which is a supplemental sales floor where ArtCloud has a marketplace. We do not take commission again. It's only the processing fees from Stripe. But this is a way for you to have just a place where you can list your work among many of our galleries and many of the artists that use ArtCloud, just an additional place for you to list your work and have it, out on the internet. So with analytics, obviously this is populated once you start to sell work through ArtCloud, once people start to come to your website. Analytics is a really powerful way to know what's working and what's not as you start to move and groove with adding contacts, selling inventory, people coming to your website. As you send out email campaigns, obviously it's not very exciting in here right now, but once you have these numbers, it can really inform where you want to put any marketing dollars. As an artist, it feels weird to think about that, but I've worked with artists that have run some Google ads and run some Facebook and Instagram, some meta ads, and it's fairly successful if you're able to target. And in order to target, you need to know who is coming to your website. You need to know who is buying your work, what they're buying, and then you can think about advertising from there. We have all of these things down here, which I am very quickly running out of time to go over, but this is all like analytics, layaway, taxes. We have also another great webinar about financial wellness for artists that I will also share in the recording or share in the email, but you can put a lot of different, techniques into kind of like understanding what you need to do as an artist for taxes, how to understand like who's buying what, and who you need to target in the future. If you're looking to expand your collector base, look at who's already buying. So yes, I believe I'm coming towards the end here, but I can take some questions. I also made a poll. If you see, I believe it should be in about the middle right of your Zoom screen. But essentially, if you wouldn't mind filling out this poll, like I said, we are really interested in providing educational resources and support and professional development for artists this year and next, and the year after that, hopefully. But basically, I would just love to know what you want to learn about. So we have some also fantastic guest speakers coming up as well. But that is basically the run of show for our platform. Remember, manager and website are sold separately. So you can have just a website or just manager or both, which is the way a lot of artists go. And then I have some frequently asked questions here before we move on to the Q&A. So can I use ArtCloud for free? Yes, ArtCloud provides a free forever option that comes with simple inventory management, 500 pieces. What does ArtCloud cost? ArtCloud costs $29 a month starting for the manager and $19 a month starting for the websites. I have the link open here, again, running out of time for that, but that's where you start. And can I bring my data over from another platform? How do I migrate? So we have a couple different options there, a self-service import template, as well as tooling to make data migration super easy. So you can, bring your data over from platforms by using our tooling, which once you get signed up, again, if you have any questions, support@artcloud.com is always the way to get in touch with us. So yeah, I will start let's see here, there we go. Start the Q&A here. Let's see. Okay, so we have one question here. Free account through 9.arts. I'll explain 9.arts in just one moment. Do I need to open another account that is not connected with 9. In order to use ArtCloud outside this relationship? So you can 100% just use that account. You only need one ArtCloud account. 9.arts is a partner of ours. They are a phenomenal consulting firm out of Denver, Colorado, that we partner with to provide consignment connection for artists that work with 9. So you'll use your ArtCloud account. And if you remember when I hovered over the galleries part of the left-hand navigation, you will consign via, connecting with 9 there, but your inventory, your contacts, your website, all of that is in one account. So I hope that answers your question. If you have any other questions about that, well, you can, address that later. How is support via chat, real person? So support depends on your subscription level, but email support is the most common way that we support. We also have a really good knowledge base. So that's kind of like an ArtCloud encyclopedia that you can go in and learn how to do a lot of different things. And we have a YouTube channel as well with some videos on there. Do you provide a domain name? Good question. So for ArtCloud websites, we are the host of the actual website. The domain is a different thing. So that's the same way that it works with other big box website builders. You buy your domain through a domain provider, and then you connect it to your ArtCloud website or your Squarespace website or whatever it is. So that's how that works. We are not a domain provider. What does the free account include? Is there a website level that is also free, or is it just inventory management that is free? Good question. So there is no website level that is free. Our websites start at $19 a month. It's only the inventory management part of Manager that is free. And then with that, you can create that collateral that we were talking about. And you can also connect to galleries using the free service. So I recommend it, even if you just want to play around with ArtCloud or start a free trial to kind of experiment with everything else. You can do that for 14 days. But yeah, it's the best way to use ArtCloud is just to get in there and get going, get started, and hopefully you'll see the value of the platform. Okay. Great. How robust is your tax calculation? So what I showed you is the extent of what I know. I'll need to get another resource involved to give you a better sense of tax calculation. We do have an export for QuickBooks. So as you're selling your work, we do have a fairly rudimentary connection that way where you can make sure that you can communicate with your QuickBooks with what you've sold in ArtCloud. Oh, Kim, thank you for letting me know that you're confused. Free inventory account of up to 500 works for good. That's the free one. 14-day free trial is a whole different thing. They're two different things. So you can have your free account forever with very basic tooling, or you can start a 14-day free trial of like the whole Monty of Pro Plus ArtCloud. That's how that works. So yeah. Can you link an existing website? This is going to be our last question for the day. You can't really link an existing website because our website builder is so customizable that it'd be difficult to kind of migrate whatever else you have, say on a Squarespace or a Wix site. But you can start with one of the templates that looks the most similar to your site. And I promise you can customize it to the point that it can look exactly like the site you already have if you really want it to. So that is the answer to that. But it looks like we are running a little out of time. My goal was 40 minutes. So I really appreciate you guys coming and going through ArtCloud with me and setting up my account with my piece, selling my piece to my sister. And we will be sure to answer any questions you may have when you get the recording of this webinar in approximately 2 days. So with that said, Thank you so much. And thank you for being an artist in the world. I know it doesn't get much easier, but know that we are here for you digitally and want to provide the most robust business platform for the art world in the world. So thank you again, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Look out for an email from me. And yeah, all right. Bye, everyone.